Singapore will let a tourist walk through customs with a suitcase of luxury goods, no questions asked. But pull out a pack of gum and you're in a different conversation. Here's the part almost every travel article gets wrong. Chewing gum itself was never illegal in Singapore. What's illegal is importing it, selling it, or manufacturing it, a rule that's been on the books since 1992 under the Control of Manufacture Act. It wasn't about cleanliness alone. In the early 90s, vandals started sticking used gum on the door sensors of Singapore's brand new MRT train system, jamming the doors and delaying the entire network. The government had had enough. Since 2004, there's one legal workaround: therapeutic gum, like nicotine or dental gum, sold only through a registered pharmacist or dentist. So can you personally chew a piece on the MRT platform? Technically, chewing isn't the crime, but don't test the exceptions, because the fines for importing or selling still apply, and Singapore does not bluff on enforcement. In most countries, cropping a photo is just editing. In North Korea, cropping the wrong photo can end your trip. Tourists are permitted to photograph statues and portraits of the country's leaders, but only if the entire statue or image is captured in frame, front on, with nothing cut off. Photographing just the head, or catching the statue mid-angle with a limb out of frame, is treated as a genuine act of disrespect, not a technical mistake. Guides are trained to catch it in real time, and visitors have been asked on the spot to delete the image. The same caution extends further. No photographing soldiers without explicit permission, no photos from moving vehicles near monuments, and no images that frame the country in a negative light, like poverty or unfinished construction. None of this is optional local color. Every tourist to North Korea travels with a government-assigned guide, and these rules are communicated clearly before you ever raise a camera. Get it right, and guides are often glad to help you get the shot. A British man and a tourist shared what they called a quick peck on the cheek at a Dubai restaurant. A month later, they were convicted of inappropriate behavior and sentenced to jail time. Public displays of affection, kissing, prolonged hugging, even some hand-holding, fall under the UAE's public decency laws, and they apply to everyone inside the country, married or not, regardless of nationality. It doesn't take much to trigger a complaint. A witness reports it, and police can get involved from there. The consequences documented in real cases range from fines and formal warnings to detention and deportation, and enforcement tends to tighten further during Ramadan. Here's the twist most people don't know. Since 2020 legal reforms, unmarried couples can legally share a hotel room in Dubai. That change was about cohabitation, not public conduct. What's allowed behind a closed hotel door and what's allowed at a restaurant table are two completely different legal categories, and mixing them up is exactly how tourists end up in a police report instead of a photo album. Two tourists driving Land Rovers in Iceland's Fjallabak Nature Reserve tried to steer around a patch of unmelted snow. That single detour off the marked track triggered a formal investigation by Iceland's environmental agency and a heavy fine. Off-road driving is illegal across the entire country, full stop, not just in protected reserves, everywhere. The reason is written into the landscape itself. Iceland's moss-covered lava fields can take decades, sometimes longer, to recover from a single set of tire tracks. Because that moss grows only a few millimeters a year, rangers actively patrol fragile areas, and fines for leaving the road have run into the thousands of dollars, with the most severe cases layering on environmental restoration costs on top. Even driving around a puddle or a snow patch counts if it leaves a mark outside the designated track. The rule sounds strict because Iceland has decided that a rental car's convenience isn't worth centuries of visible damage. Stay on the marked road, stay on the F roads, and the fine never becomes your problem. In most countries, complaining about the government on social media is just Tuesday. In Thailand, doing the same about the monarchy has put people away for decades. Section 112 of Thailand's criminal code makes it a crime to defame, insult, or threaten the king, queen, heir apparent, or regent, and the penalty is 3 to 15 years in prison per count. That word matters, per count. Courts have stacked individual social media posts into sentences lasting decades, and in one case a defendant received a 50-year sentence for sharing 27 posts, later reduced after a guilty plea. And this law does not stop at the border of citizenship. Section 112 applies to everyone on Thai soil, foreigners included, and truth is not accepted as a defense the way it would be in most defamation cases elsewhere. Liking a post, sharing a video, even a passing comment made to the wrong person has led to prosecution. This isn't a quirky travel fact. It's one of the most seriously enforced laws a visitor can encounter. In Switzerland, running a vacuum cleaner on a Sunday can genuinely get you a visit from an annoyed neighbor, or a fine. It's called Ruhetag, the day of rest, and it's baked into Swiss noise regulations at both the national and cantonal level. On Sundays and public holidays, loud housework is restricted island-wide. No lawn mowing, no power tools, no drilling, and in many areas, no dropping glass bottles into recycling bins because the noise carries. The same quiet hour logic applies every single night too, typically from 10 p.m. to 6 or 7 a.m., and even a midday quiet window around lunchtime in some regions. Here's the part tourists miss. This isn't just a homeowner rule. If you're renting an apartment or an Airbnb, the same regulations apply to you as a guest. And Swiss neighbors are not shy about enforcing it. So that quick load of laundry or vacuum before checkout on a Sunday, save it for Monday. Once a year, an entire island goes completely dark. And it doesn't matter if you're a local, a tourist, or someone who just landed that morning. Nyepi, the Balinese Day of Silence, runs for a full 24 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day, and it applies to everyone physically present on Bali, regardless of religion or nationality. The rules, known as Catur Brata Penyepian, are specific. No fire or light visible outside, no work, no travel, no entertainment. Ngurah Rai International Airport shuts down completely. It's the only day of the year with 0 incoming or outgoing flights. Streets are empty, shops are closed, and traditional security patrols called pekalang walk the neighborhoods to make sure the silence holds. Tourists are expected to stay inside their hotel or villa for the entire period. It's not a suggestion, and there have been real, documented cases of visitors detained simply for stepping outside to walk. Hotels prepare for it with quiet in-room activities and pre-stocked food. So the move is simple. Check the calendar before you book and stock up the day before. 3,000 years of history, and it's a stiletto heel that can actually crack it. Since 2009, Greece has banned high heels at the Acropolis, the Roman Agora, Delphi, and other major archaeological sites, and it is enforced. A stiletto concentrates a person's full body weight onto a point smaller than a coin, and on marble that's already survived millennia of weather, war, and foot traffic, that pressure causes real microfractures. Greece's Ministry of Culture introduced the rule after archaeologists flagged the damage pattern, and guards at the entrances are trained to catch it. Violators face a fine reported up to €900, or they're simply turned away at the gate. It's not limited to fashion either. Chewing gum, food, and drink are also restricted at these sites for the same preservation reasons. So before you plan the perfect Acropolis outfit photo, know that the marble under your feet is older than most countries on Earth, and Greece has decided it's not replacing it for anyone's Instagram. Leave cash on the table at a restaurant in most countries, and it's a thank you. Do it in Japan, and there's a real chance your server chases you down the street to give it back. Tipping in Japan isn't just unnecessary. In most everyday situations, it can genuinely come across as awkward or even insulting. The reasoning traces back to a service philosophy called omotenashi, where excellent service is treated as a given, a matter of professional pride, not something that needs extra payment to unlock. Offering a tip can unintentionally suggest the staff member isn't paid enough, or that their normal service wouldn't have been good without it. That doesn't mean gratitude has no place. At high-end restaurants, hotels and ryokans, a service charge of around 10 to 15% is often already built directly into the bill. Transparently, no tip required. So if you want to show appreciation the right way in Japan, skip the extra cash.
And just say arigatou gozaimasu.
It lands better than the money ever will. The Eiffel Tower itself has been public domain since 1993, free to photograph, sell and reproduce however you like. But wait until dark and you're photographing a completely different piece of intellectual property. The tower's sparkling nighttime light display was designed by lighting engineer Pierre Bidot and installed in 1985, and under French and EU copyright law, an artistic work stays protected for the creator's lifetime plus 70 years. Bidot passed away in 2021, which means the light show itself is legally protected until 2094. Here's the good news for the average traveler. The organization that manages the tower has stated plainly that personal, non-commercial photos and social media posts are completely fine. No permission needed. The restriction targets commercial use, stock photography, advertising, books, anything generating profit from the image. Try to sell that gorgeous night shot without a license, and you're technically in copyright territory. So snap away for your own memories. Just don't try to put it on a postcard business without asking first. Venice didn't just limit tourism, it started charging admission. Since August 2021, ships over 25,000 tons or 180 meters long have been permanently banned from entering the Venice lagoon, rerouted to the industrial port of Marghera instead, after years of protests over cruise ships damaging the historic waterways. Then in 2024, Venice became the first city in the world to charge day trippers an actual entry fee. If you're not staying overnight, you now have to book online, get a QR code, and pay around €5 if you book a few days ahead, roughly double that if you leave it late. Skip it, and you're risking a fine of up to €300. Overnight guests, residents and children under 14 are exempt, but they still need to register that exemption on fee days. In 2026, the scheme expanded to 60 days across the busiest travel months, and city officials have floated raising the peak day fee even higher. This is what over-tourism policy looks like when a city runs out of patience. Barcelona isn't just cracking down on short-term rentals, it's ending them completely. In June 2024, Mayor Jaume Colboni announced that the city will stop renewing licenses for every one of its more than 10,000 registered tourist apartments, with the ban taking full effect by November 2028. After that date, no apartment in Barcelona will be legally rentable to tourists for a short stay. Full stop. Hotels and regulated accommodations only. The reasoning is written into the city's rent data. Housing prices in Barcelona have climbed roughly 68% over the past decade, while wages rose a fraction of that, and city officials point directly at the short-term rental boom as a driver of the squeeze on residents. In March 2025, Spain's Constitutional Court upheld the plan, dismissing legal challenges from property owners and clearing the path for enforcement. Critics argue tourist apartments make up under 1% of total housing stock
And won't fix the crisis alone, but the ruling stands regardless.
If you're booking a Barcelona apartment stay for a trip after 2028, that plan may not exist anymore.